Hey, Jules, how about the Bills here? Minus 8.5 over the Washington football team. Too high or too low of a spread? Looks like -8 now, by the way. -8 on the. Yep.
Yeah, I really want to get this one at under a touchdown. Like, I would feel Washington has extra time to prepare, coming off a tough win, if you can say that. Like, their defense was a huge letdown, and yet they beat the Giants in kind of a joke of a game, as we've become accustomed to in the NFC East. That said, like, would I bet on Washington? No. So I guess that means it's too low to answer the question appropriately. But it's a stay away spot for me. It's the only side I'm interested in betting on is the Bills, and the only number I'm interested in it at is 6.5. And it's not going to get there. So realistically, this just means that the Bills are a very good teaser piece this week at home against a Washington defense that the front four, the front seven will get some pressure on Josh Allen, but that secondary, we learned that it stinks against Daniel Jones and the Giants. So look for Stephon Diggs to go deep. Look for the Bills to have a pretty good game in the secondary.
Yeah, Steve, Washington 0-2 against the spread to begin the season. Taylor Heineke once again under center.
Yeah, I mean, look, the money's been coming in on Washington. This was at 9.5, I think, as recently as yesterday. So this line is coming down. Oh, look at that great graphic. There you go. I'm not lying. There it is, right in front of you. But
good job,
so
Steve.
This number is obviously coming down. But one thing that that Julian brought up too, like Washington's defense has been a bit of a disappointment. But at least according to Pro Football Focus, they still have one of the top 5 pass rushes in the league. And Josh Allen's been under pressure a lot so far this season. 40% of his dropbacks, he's been scrambling a lot out of the pocket. They've been getting some good pressure on him. And if there's a team that's going to do that efficiently, it's exactly who they're facing this week in Washington. So I'm with Julian. I don't like this number at all. The 8 is really a tough number. It's a well set number. But it's a tough number to really decide who you like in this one. If Josh Allen's going to continue to be under a lot of pressure, this is not the team that you want to have that issue against. So would love to see where this number moves as the week goes on. And we talked about getting some early line value. This is not the time, because I think this is going to continue to change as the week goes on. So I think this is just a stay away spot for me. To answer the question, though, I do think this is a bit too high at the moment.
Reid, how tough is it for you to see Heineke going toe-to-toe with Josh Allen on the road?
Oh, not tough at all. Heineke for MVP, baby. No, the unreasonable odds panel to capitulators here on the Washington football team at -8.5. Look, I get what these guys are saying, but I'm going to take the points here. Getting 8.5. Josh Allen, and Steve mentioned it. I think it's a really good point there. Buffalo ranks 31st in team, in pass blocking. In team pass blocking in their first 2 weeks. And Josh Allen has been a bottom 5 quarterback in a clean pocket and against the blitz, right? This guy was the #1 quarterback in fantasy and all things last year and coming into this year. The stats were there, Stephon Diggs, we love it. But he has not been great in his first 2 matchups against the Steelers team that we know maybe is on their last leg with Ben Roethlisberger, and against Miami without a Tua Tagovailoa. So, I'm just not convinced just yet. Julie mentioned that Washington is on a rest advantage. They have the best defensive line in the NFL right now. So I'll take the points. I'm not too worried about them. And again, the teaser point that Julie made, I think is great. I think getting it below that key number 7 is fantastic. But right now for this segment, I'm going to take the points of Washington football team.